Okay, official welcome to Sparkly New Year's workshop for the year 2025. I got down the kitchen and my son looked at me. My son's 13 years old and he was cooking something and he turns around and he looks at me and he says, "Wow." And then he says, "Let me guess." He's like, "It's the Sparkly in You workshop." Love it. I said, "You're close. You're close." He's like, and then the next thing, of course, he's 13 and he's like, "Mom, you're gonna do yoga in that?" Anyways, just gotta love 13-year-old boy. Welcome, welcome. So get situated. Just take time to look at everybody here in our maha, in our great sparkly Zoom room, as I like to call it. It's extra sparkly tonight as we begin a new year. You get me extra scratchy tonight. I had too much fun on December 31st teaching for 6 hours. And so my 6 hour teaching stint ended up in this. I'm not sure how Taylor Swift did it for 2.5 years because I do six, and this is what happens to me. But nonetheless, I'm in really good spirits. So, you'll get me back in 2 weeks with my fresh, my regular voice. Um, I want to thank you for being here. It's such a big deal, your presence here, doing this work of landing into last year in 2024 to rise into 2025, coming out of the winter solstice, coming out of the holidays, sometimes that stirs some stuff as well. And coming and doing this work together, this intentional work, it's bold work, it's radical work. And I always get so excited that other people wants to do this with me and just hang out with me. So I'm not alone in my rituals. So I want to thank you. There's so many of you I know just from yoga or Guide to a Magic Life. Some of you I don't know, so I'm really excited to get to know you tonight. And so let's start with just a grounding. Let's do like a few minutes. Now that you've looked around, you see who's here. Uncrossing your legs, bring your palms face up. And tonight, before you close your eyes, I'm gonna show you we're using a little hand gesture that I use every new year, and it's called the unshakable trust mudra. So take your hands and you'll cross your hands like this, and you'll just open your palms. And then I like to use my mudra, I just like relax into them. And arriving in this room, entering our time together, this auspicious time, this gift of a few hours you gave yourself to slow down, to enter soul time, to enter sacred time, to make a U-turn onto self, and to take the time to make space, to take the time to reflect. and and through that's when the deep growth happens. So find your sits bones here, breathe down into your feet, and then lean back onto your spine and breathing into the hand gesture as well, right? Unshakable trust as we step in and enter and cross over into 2025. And I hope you take this workshop, this time tonight as such. It's a gateway, it's an initiation, it's a leap, it's a threshold. Okay, but first we need to trust. We need to lean back. We need to get our bodies, our breath into it, mostly our breath, our conscious breath. And our breath is what links us together into this sparkly Zoom room. Because of our breath, we are not separate from each other.
All my life is changing every day in every possible way.
Let's take a breath together in, long and soft.
And all my
Nice sigh
dreams,
out.
it's never
Continue,
quite as
please.
it seems, never quite as it seems. I know I felt like this before, but now I'm feeling it even more, because it came from you. And then I open up and see the person falling here is me, a different way to be.
Let's do two more breaths together as we enter our soul time, our sparkly New Year's time, in the spirit of receptivity, curiosity, exploration. Let's take a deep breath in and a sigh out, already causing a clearing, making space for our word to receive. So we may receive our word of the year tonight.
Impossible to ignore.
Okay, two more together in,
And they'll come
sigh,
impossible not to do.
and last one. Lean back, lean back.
And now I tell you openly,
No.
you have my heart, so don't hurt me. You're what I couldn't find.
Okay, slowly you can undo your hands and coming back, eyes on the screen. Okay, again, if I didn't say your name, it's just because I didn't see your screen. So officially, welcome all of you creatresses, light seekers, firecrackers, makers of all things beautiful. Tonight together, we'll breathe together, move together, and create together. And hopefully, with that, a word of the year will find you. Now, I have a feeling, not sure why, but a half of this group already have their word of the year. I can just maybe yes, maybe no. Just so I know who I'm speaking to. Who has never, can you maybe like do a thumbs up on your screen? Who has never ever set themselves a word of the year? Like ever. Because I'm so excited for you. Marie-Ève? Yeah, ouais, come. Ouais. Um, yeah, look at Shauna, you got some hands up. Yeah, Sue. Oh my God, Sue, hi. And okay, so I just want to take you back. Actually, I got all nerdy today and I made a little PowerPoint. I did it. Yep, I did it. Let's go screen, desktop share. Let's see. Let's go present. Okay. So I said that already. I want to take you back to the first time I set myself a word of the year. But just so you know, this workshop is always it's kind of split up in three parts: space, reflection, and deep growth. And to be honest, we spent the most time in space. And I'm actually hoping that you've done a bit of this work already. Um, I the more I do this, and I've been actually, I didn't even know how long I had done this work. And then a student of mine at Radiance Yoga just plainly asked me, she's like, "How many years have you done this?" And I had to think back. And I've found a word for my year for 12 years now because my son's 13. So it was 12. And the more I do this work, there's like a bit of a personal cycle that has come, my own personal cycle. And for the past few years, it's been really, really in sync with the seasonal cycle. So the equinox and the solstice. And this year was so clear for me that I started surrendering and making space for literally like to let go of my word this year in the fall. So I started being like, okay, how can I surrender to that word in the fall? And I call my fall workshop Earth Surrender. The leaves are falling, outside is dying. Well, my word of the year was going through that same kind of cycle as well. Um, and so I do hope like, you can't make space in just like a 2 hour workshop. So I do hope that there are ways in your life that you're able to make space. And for us, at Guide Community or, for me and my body of work, it's been through breath, movement, and creativity always. And those are all three ways to clear. That's literally the purpose of yoga, to purify, to clean, to purge, to feel a sense of levity, a buoyancy. That's the whole purpose. That's why we do yoga, to rebalance, to come back to our centers, to be in our aliveness, full and free. And so I just I made my little slide, but the first word I ever set myself was the word bloom. And I want to share with you, that word has never left me ever. So, and it's been a bit of the base on which all the other word have come to me, and it's informed, all the other word. And so when my student Hanukkah asked me, how many years we've done this, and it kind of got me on a like rabbit hole of like, okay, of 12 years of doing this, like what have I learned? And I came up with this, and some of you are use of me of using gardening terms, but I was like, oh my goodness, I've been composting bloom all this time. And all the words after which I literally put in a compost. And at Sparkly New Year's at the Cowbay Hall, I literally like I brought a compost box and I love this time of year so much, the darkest of dark, now like coming out of the solstice, because we get to stir the compost again. We get to like, water it, make new seeds. What grows out of a compost? Can somebody tell me? What do we make out of a compost? A garden? Flowers? So for those of you, that have seasoned a word of the year, for some of you have done this with me for almost 10 years, okay? So think of it as like literally like, you're composting your word. And it was really, really interesting, because some years, and I've noticed this in my students this year, it's like some years we're really attached to our word, right? It's done a lot, and it's like, oh, like I don't want to put it in the compost. Like, why would I do that? And then otherwise, like for me, my word this year was breakthrough. And in August, you all, I was done. I was like, I'm good. I'm good. Like, I'm just like, can I compost this now? And obviously I still had a little bit to do, but by the fall, I was really surrendering to my word, and I let my word do its good work, you know? And so and that's important in the way that we approach. I'm just going to stop my share for a minute so I can look at your faces to make sure I'm reaching you all. Um, and that's really important in like the way we approach, um, like finding a word of the year, in that, setting yourself a word of the year, it's not a resolution. And I do the same little preach every year, but that's really, really important for you to know. And I can only speak for myself, but every time I set myself a resolution, It came from a place of ego. It came from a place of like, I should do this. It came from a place of like a trend too. Like maybe other people were doing it, and then I was like, suddenly it's like, oh, maybe I should do it. So it was sourced from a place that at the time I thought was like fine, but it was like just superficial. And it was really like also a place of like go, go, go. And I'm like the sole magician of like this thing I want. And like I'm in control of everything, which like put a lot of pressure on like attaining that because it was like all up to me. What the hell? So I want you to know this is not that. We're not trying to repeat what we're doing with the resolution stuff. So if you thought today you were like setting yourself a resolution, you're welcome to leave now. I'm just kidding. But so now I'm going to tell you the way we approach the word of the year, it's from a heart place. And some of you have heard me say this word, but in yoga, we call this sankalpa. I can share my screen again. But sankalpa means your heart's deepest desires. And and so it's and that there's so many other things I can say to that, and I'm trying to save my voice tonight, but I get so passionate about this. Because there's nothing wrong with having goals either. Like I don't want you to think like that's bad. So for example, my word this year, breakthrough, it was very much linked to finishing my fashion design diploma. That's a goal. That's something I want, you know? But the why and my heart's deepest desire, I had been wanting this since I'm like 20 years old. So, you know, so it was like really from a place, like a deeper place than just like wanting that thing. Cause like, so for 20 years, really, like I had been working on like making way for what wanted to make way. And it's okay. Like at 20, like I wasn't ready. Like I still wanted this, but like I wasn't ready. So like our job is to make way for what wants to make way and to receive our life and receive our karmas. So and then it was so poignant because I got asked I was maybe after solstice. So a student asked me, "Does it ever get easier, Estelle?" And I kind of just sat with that for a minute, and I was like, you know what? I actually don't think it gets easier. Like, you don't take my workshop to be like, 2025 is going to be your best year. It's going to be the most. Like, I don't think that's, first of all, I don't think that's realistic. But like also, but what I told her is like, I think you get better if you do this work, soul work. You get better at receiving your life. Like I feel large energetically. Thanks, Shauna. Like feeling that c- anything, give it to me, life. Give it to me, life. And from what's given to me, and a lot of shit has been given to me, okay? I got a lot of things that was given to me, okay? And I know in this room, every one of you, something was given to you, whether it was the death of somebody, whether it was a life transition, whether it was a life card of any type, a diagnosis of what was given to you in your life. And what will you make out of this? So, what's given to you in yoga, we call this your karma. And what you will make out of this, that's your dharma. That's your life's purpose. That's crazy, right? So, like, how can you, like, my karma? It's like, so, yeah. So, but the other thing I want to say, and I don't want to talk too long. I'm supposed to stop talking at 7:30, everyone. So you gotta tell me. And Jill's like, okay. Um, okay. So I got so excited because you know how much I love words. I love words. And I went looking at the root of the word desire because I wanted to look at the heart's deepest desire. I was like, what is desire? What's the root of desire? Anyways, do you know what it means? I'm not lying to you. You can Google it right now. I won't judge you. Desire means from the stars. Are you registering this? We think that like our desires are ours, but really it's already written in the stars. And I know some like and so the work is to let go of, for so long in my spiritual path, I thought I wanted to better myself. I wanted to improve myself. And like all these times that and I since she asked me that question, the student, there's years I don't remember what my word was. There are years I remember. There's so many years. And then and I think the years I cannot remember what my word was, it's because, quote unquote, it didn't work. Because I was trying to approach it like I did a resolution. There was no dance. Okay, the resolution is always like go, 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 go. That's that's not sustainable. Anybody will burn out. So a word of the year is go and flow. Go and flow. And it's activate, disactivate. That's what we looked last year in guide. How do you activate, energize your word of the year? How do you disactivate your word of the year? So it's always a dance of there's some things you do control about your word of the year. Totally. Usually it's like within your rituals of breath, movement, and creativity. There's things you think the how much sleep you get, what you eat. Like these are things you like somehow control. And then there's a part you don't control. Like what's given to you that you don't control. Do you understand? So it's like is there questions about that? I just want to make sure it's so hard on Zoom sometimes to see if is there anything that comes up? Oh, I got a thumbs up from Dorina. Yay. Okay. So we're gonna make compost together tonight. How about that? Um, the last thing I'm gonna say that I've been reflecting on is that this whole aspect, and we talked a lot about it in winter solstice. Valerie was there, Lori was there, Angela was there, a few of you were there. But this idea of honoring endings, we're really good in our culture. I can just speak for like Eastern Canada, but anyways, you know, we're really good at starting things. We love a shiny new year. We love like beginning projects. We love births. We love all, oh, we don't like death. We don't like honoring endings, and we don't have a lot of rituals that do. So it's not like reflected back at us. Okay, sure, somebody passes away, there's a wake, there's, witnessing. But what about all the other things that you've ended in your life, whether it be a friendship? I've had friendships end. There was no wake for that. I've had, the ending of my maiden archetype to my mother archetype. Like everybody's like, you're having a baby. Well, what about the life I'm leaving? Nobody speaks of that. So then it's like we're kind of left like, and we get stuck in like the past sometimes because it's like we haven't truly. So at the winter solstice at Calby Hall, it was so beautiful. and we shared on Zoom too. But at Cabell, I made this like, oh, Angela was there. Angela, we made it was so beautiful. I want to go to my own workshops, but I made a spiral with like greenery. So we walked in the spiral, and I invited you to leave your word of the year in the spiral, and then walk back or whatever you were ending, on the winter solstice. Like, so how, through guide or through whatever else, like, I think in your life, it's really important to create your own personal ritual in like honoring ending. So like, tonight we will honor the ending of your word of the year. And if you didn't have a word of the year, it doesn't matter. Okay. It's like, as long as like, you learned one thing last year and just that awareness, like it's a big deal to know you've learned one thing. It's huge, you know, to have even like that literacy, that deep awareness of like I've learned this, right? Because we don't know it all. So then if we learn something, then it's like, wow, we've expanded that much more. And then one last thing, I know it's 7:30. One last thing. Um, the first thing I ever teach in like all my soul connection programs, it's this dimension of time, like the concept of time in general in terms of soul work. And that's literally the first thing I was teaching like 7 years ago when we first started Chi Quest. But the aspect of Kairos time and Chronos time. Kairos being this time right now together, you all, the slow time, sacred time, soul time. I know you've all been in soul time because do you know, I'm gonna assume you've all had sex at least once, or you've all had watched a sunset. You've all watched a sunrise. You've all eat something so good that you wanted to weep and you stayed in that bubble at this like I'm a foodie, okay? So I'm just like, or this like there these like little moment you're holding your child and you're like, in a trance. So these like moment like soul time where like it's almost a no time zone. I do it when like I paint, I do yoga, I meditate, whatever. Nature walk, swimming. And Chronos time is very important too. But this is the time we know best, the structure time. We need a Monday to Friday for school. I don't know, but like there's a structure. Um, yeah, our agenda. And I want to tell you, it's like your word too has a soul time and it has a Chronos time. Like to have permission of your word to have both expected timeline and unexpected timeline, right? Think of my fashion design diploma. Like my expected timeline was June, and my unexpected timeline was when I was on the floor crying because, like, you guys, I don't sew. So, like, what the heck was I doing? So, but that was me, like, still, letting letting my word do its good work and trusting it'll do its good work, you know. And to go further with that, the more I do this work, it's like winter solstice is very Kairos for me. It's very sacred. It's almost like a new year for me. And I follow astrology a little bit, but like they say the winter solstice, like the darkest of dark, it's actually like 90 days long. So like I know we're doing this right now. The New Year's, like the Gregorian New Year, some old guy somewhere decided like January 1st is like the New Year. And you know what? That's Chronos for me. And you know what? I was thinking about like it would be so like not convenient if New Year's was like December 21st. It's like, well, like in our culture. So like just watching that, even that awareness of that in your life, we are so heavily leaned on Chronos time, right? And it's like linear time, and healing doesn't work like that. Your path to healing is a spiral. So it's like a pathless path. It's a crooked path. It's a meandering path. And that takes so much patience and we get humbled, over and over again. But at the same time, I hope that what I'm saying, I hope that's also a relief that like your word of the year, it's not like that should come as a relief. And it does because, you know, to create this dance inside you of like, small daily acts of bravery, your brave choices that you'll take because of your word. And also when you let your word do its good work. Can I share your labyrinth, Shauna? Would you mind if I did that? Last year, Shauna had the word, Shauna's right there if you look at her. She had the word, it was stay, right? Stay, yeah. Anyways, and it was so beautiful because at the top of the year too, you kind of like have this expectation of like what your word's supposed to be. And Shauna, little by little, it's a beautiful dance of like she made a labyrinth in her backyard, you all. Did Sean, maybe you can speak to this. Did you think in January you're gonna make a labyrinth in your backyard?
No, I thought I was gonna make a corset to keep me upright and stay tight.
I love it.
But stay was returning and lapping around trees was returning during panic attacks and who fucking knows what else, but it kept me in my body, and that's what stay ended up being.
Yeah. Anyways, I sorry I put you on the spot there, but I just kind of start. So yeah, I could go on so many other stories that I know that it's like um that. But is there anything that I didn't look at the chat here, but so let's take a breath. Oh, Heather says her shirt, it says we are made of stars. Oh my God. Thank you. Okay, so our first ritual in honoring endings and making space tonight, I will go back and share my screen now. And I'll check the chat once in a while so you can ask questions in the chat. Okay, we love it when things when it gets interactive. Okay, I'm not scared. I'm not scary. Okay. What's happened? Oh, here we are. Okay, did I talk about all that? Yeah. Okay, so let's compose. So I have three reflection questions for you all. The first is what were you grateful for last year? Okay, some of us, I don't have it here, but I actually painted my gratitude this year, which again, what a great way to integrate my year. Actually, I can show it to you. Hold on. Oh, it's actually right here. So for every month, I did a little square for each month. I scrolled on my phone. I picked something I was grateful for. So this is making space. This makes space. But for the purpose of tonight's workshop, if you give me maybe like three or four things you're grateful for, that'd be great. And then the big question of this workshop, what is one thing that you learned last year? Okay. And then I would love it that you have a little paper like this and with a boring pencil, no colors, you will write your word of this year and we'll put it in our home compost. Okay, so I'll leave you here about 5 minutes to answer. If you are following on the planner, it's the Land to Rise page right here. Okay, so this is the first question, and then the two others are here, I think. Or the one more. we'll transition right away, making even more space, and we'll take our little banner. I don't want you to worry about the word yet. Okay, we're not worrying about that at all, but we're just gonna paint our banner. Okay, if you've been on any, like I think, yeah, Valerie, we did that this summer. Some of you have done this with me before. And then if you had some colors, just like filling out the banner with lots of colors. So you can just take any colors you want and then make this a ceremony, you know? You're setting up the stage for your word to find you. So we'll do that maybe until like 7:50. And I'll be in the chat if you have questions. You can also unmute yourself. Sorry. Oh, yeah, that's a good question, Maria. So there's one this is my word last year, and this is my word this year. You're going to have these two things. Does that make more sense, Marie-Ève? Thank you. It's a really great question. Okay, slowly unwinding now. Do you have enough times for the banner? We can let them dry now. Yeah, I don't, yeah. Ooh, Erica, it looks fun. Yeah, Valerie, amazing. Angela, look at that. Perfect. Ooh, Lori's got bubble. Things are exciting over there. Heather, incredible. And Margaret, Adele. Lindsay, how you feeling? Are you rough like me? Oh, I like it. Okay, so we'll just let the banner like dry. If it's wet a little, we'll just leave it. And then I want you to have your planners and the compost paper. Erin just joined us. She doesn't know about the compost situation, but she'll get to know. She'll get to know. She signed up for guide again this year. Okay, Erin. So for the sake of this workshop, we unfortunately we won't. I would love for everyone to share, but I'll just ask for, let's do like three of you to share. Um, let's go one thing you were grateful of. Let's have three of you. Please just unmute yourself and just share one thing you were grateful for. In the planner, it's more specific. You have each month, so but just for the sake of this workshop, anyone?
I will. I am grateful for a very special day where my married my love of 16 years, and I'm grateful for that very special day.
I remember that. It was in June, no? Yeah. So great. Milo seniors. Anybody? Ooh, you got some hearts. I always forget you can do that, Tiffany. Thank you. Who else? Two more. What we're grateful for. Yes, Sue.
I'm grateful. One of the things that I wrote down and surprised me was stability. I was just grateful for not being pushed off course so easily. Like that felt really important this year. So
Mm, wonderful. So important. It in your gratitudes reflects your values. Like, yeah, thank you. Wonderful. One more for gratitudes.
I can jump in. And Margaret, hi.
Hmm.
Um, I'm really grateful this year because I started to dance again, which was really fun. So in my mid 50s, I went back to ballet, which is really fun.
Yes. Thank you, everyone. So incredible. How about we write more gratitudes in the comment section? Maybe just one gratitude each. I know there's more. In the creativity studio, I share my whole process of painting my gratitude too. So if you're signed up for a guide this year, you get that tutorial. It's really fun. Gratitude in watercolors. So write in the chat so we can see what you are grateful for. And then our next little exercise, again, we won't have time to do a full circle, but at the closer to the end of our time together, we will go in breakout rooms to do our last rumbles. And I'll try to put some like active guide luminaries with some of the we'll make sure to have about like 3 or 4 of you in each group. So you'll all get to share, just maybe not in the big maha. So if you're sharing the next question, I'll get 5 of you to share. And this is the important one. It's the one thing you learned last year. I know there was more than one, but we would just want to know one. I also know that there's probably a story connected to what you learned. I would like, for the sake of us sharing, that you strip it of its story and you just tell us the essence of it. So I will do an example. I'm actually gonna just usually like there's not a lot of space here to write. I'm just gonna read to you what I wrote in what I learned this year. I actually wrote a whole Substack about it. So if you want to read actually everything, you can go on my Substack. And so if you want to read directly from your journaling, sometimes our thoughts are like just better like frame when we wrote it down. And then what I'm gonna do, okay, so I'm just gonna like pretend I'm going, okay? So I'll say, hi, my name's Estelle. I'm calling from Cow Bay, Nova Scotia. My word last year was breakthrough. I'm putting this in the compost. Bye-bye, breakthrough. It was nice to see you in the compost. Actually put it in the compost in my kitchen. And the one thing that I learned last year was to not just live the idea of my life, but to embody the heart's flow of my life or the heart's fire of my life. And if you really have a difficulty knowing what you learned last year, I always suggest that, if your year was a movie title, what would the movie title be? Um, or also like a good way to kind of round up. For me, the emoticon for my year was like the heart on fire on the iPhone. What would be a good emoticon to evoke your year last year? So those are 2 ways. Ooh, amazing. Gratitude going. Make sure you read the gratitude. So, who wants to go? Do you want to? So the one thing you see what I did. So we'll go around for 5 of you. We'd love to hear from you.
I can go. I can go if it's okay.
Yes,
Do you
go.
hear me, guys? Yes,
Yes,
loud.
I'm Marie.
So I'm gonna be looking for my words maybe because I'm French speaking first.
Your
But
word can be in French, you know that.
oh yeah. Okay, so I guess my word for the last year was approfondissement,
Yeah.
which was like deepening, going into things deeper and deeper. My name is Marie-Ève and from Quebec City. Okay. So,
En 2002, Québec.
alors, approfondissement can now go.
Yeah.
And um, I've been like going deeper and deeper. And now then I say the one thing that I learned from my last year, I learned for myself that I could take a decision for my well-being and I could stick to it. So I'm really grateful for that because it was a big proof of self-love. Yeah. And what else?
That's it. I love that. I just wanted to simmer in that because that's big, you know? So let's take a breath with Marie-Ève. Thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you for
And a
receiving.
sigh.
Ah,
I lived in Quebec City for 3 years. And and I just want to say thank you, Marie-Ève. You know, we become teachers of the things that we learn if we're aware of what we're learning, you know? So it's just the beginning now. Let that inform your next word of the year. Okay? And stay open, stay with the release. Okay. Thank you so much, Marie-Ève. Okay, who wants to go next? Thank you. Prends des grandes respirations, là. T'es belle. Okay, who wants to go next?
I can go if you want, just to be in the Quebec team.
Dorina, Quebec represent. Yes.
Quebec represent. I didn't make the exercise last year about the word, but clearly the word that can resume the year last year is clearly marathon. So I'm really happy to stop the marathon that I did with the work. Really, and again, it's finished. Doing it. Finish it. So what I learned, it's clearly breathing is the key. So this is what breathing and to stay connected with the beautiful soul sister that I had with Lori is there with the other with Anne Berube. So really it's really helpful to stay connected with us when you are in a really deep overwhelmed stuff. Just have this connection with soul sisters. It's really easy to breathe and say, okay, keep focused, breathe and stay connected with yourself. So the breathing is the key to stay connected with good vibration around, to be surrounded with good people. Is so powerful. So this is what I learned in this marathon. So I don't think I will. I could. I will be. I was. I don't know how to say that in English, mais j'aurais été capable de le
Ouais.
faire. Probably, I'm probably beyond the burnout actually. If
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
didn't have
But
this
also, thank you
connection.
so much. And also, by this, I mean what you learned, breathe, like just breathe would be a great word for 2025. Just leaving it out there. It's up to you. But Dorina, like, thank you so much. Let's take a breath with you and sigh. Love it. Dorina just joined Guide today, so let's give a jazz fingers. She was ready. She bought the deck in like October, I think. She was ready in October. Um, Incredible. And you know what you said, Darina, about community, and I usually speak of that at the end. Your word, I don't say this lightly. The word of the year, the intention it's amplified, it's accelerated. We're so lucky we have a women's circle. It doesn't need to be guide, but even if you have one girlfriend, somebody else that's doing the same thing, don't report to somebody who doesn't have a word of the year. Come on. Okay. My husband doesn't have a word of the year, and he respects that, but I'm not gonna no, it's okay. It's fine. But, so that it's, yeah, amplifies and accelerates it and gets it more in your body. And you're affected by everyone's word. Like, I can't not think of Shine now without thinking of Angela's tattoo. And, I can't think of Pause without thinking of Heather. And I can't think of Wild without thinking of Adele and motherhood, so. And that's enriched my life and my soul. So thank you, Dorina, for and it's experiential. It's really hard to put this into words, what it does to us. So, anyways, thank you so much. And Laurie with your recruit. Okay, we get three more. So I really want to have time to do yoga. Who else wants to share? Angela, yeah.
So can you hear me okay? Yeah. I didn't have a word of the year, but remember in our last radiance class, I think,
Yeah,
or
you
the
said
second last?
realization.
No, I think it was rigidity.
Oh, okay, I like.
I think that was the word. So I'm
I
gonna
thought,
let go of
oh yeah,
rigidity.
goodbye.
Bye.
Yeah.
Bye. As my little niece will say, bye. That's what she says to my mom when her mom comes
Think
home. She goes,
opposite.
bye. And so I think that word kind of came to focus when I do a lot of work on myself to release and let go of feelings and emotions. So whenever I feel them, I don't care about the story. It's just all of a sudden I feel something and it's like, okay, you can go now. And I was having a hard time letting go of a feeling at one point. And I was talking with Celine, and she was like, you are now at the stage of letting this go at the quantum level. And so then I started thinking about, okay, quantum surrender. That's nothing that I've ever done before. And I realized when I was like sitting with this feeling and trying to let that go, that I was really controlling on the process of surrendering and letting go and like feeling the feeling. And so that's where the word rigidity came from, was it was like this control, and it was like a stuckness in my body, in my spirit. And so yeah, one thing that I learned this last year was that ability of like I call it quantum surrender. And it's like an opening, and it's fantastic. So I was quite happy to have that.
Mm. So surrender would be a great word for next year. Like that's what I mean by like this is what you learned,
Yeah.
right? Now,
But
it's like,
it's more than just the surrender. It was what came from that surrender.
yeah,
So it was, because surrender is something I've been working with for like years
yeah,
now, a few years now.
yeah,
And so as I sit here, it's almost like, okay, like what happens to the earth crust before an earthquake happens?
yeah. And that the quantum surrender happened when you walked the spiral, didn't it?
That was what I let go in the
Yeah.
spiral.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Thank
Well, it was that, yeah, that moment when I walked the spiral, that was what because I think I didn't have the word, so it was what I was grateful
Yeah.
for, and
Yeah.
letting that go. Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Let's breathe, Angela. Thank you. Take a breath. Thank you. And a sigh. Okay, two more. Who wants to share? Valerie, yeah.
Yeah. So can you hear me?
Mhm.
Yes. Okay. So I'm Valerie from Halifax, and my word last year was, can you see it? Flow.
Oh.
And I flowed. It's gone. It's done. And one of the main things I learned very simply is that messy is okay. So I learned creativity can be messy. I learned that at your workshop. Creativity can be messy. And yeah, so just learning that messy is okay.
Yeah.
Whatever it is. Pretty
Thank you
simple.
so much. It's so simple, so beautiful.
Yeah.
Those are
Very
thank you.
simple.
Let's take a breath. And the sigh. And words like rigidity or messy, I feel like at the onset we're like, wait, that's like negative. But in in the realm of having a word of the year, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because there's a shadow to that. And look what you've made of that. Messy is good. Messy would be a great word of the year. I chaos would be a great word of the year. Like, or because do you understand like rigidity too? What's the opposite of rigidity? Like it's whatever the shadow of it. So and start we don't make those connections, right at the top of the year. We court our word of the year for the beginning. We don't have to get into the like big picture yet. Um, but like I love the examples. So yeah. One more. Yeah, Lindsay. Oh, Angela, write it in community. Lindsay, hi.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hi, this is Lindsay reporting from, I'm very congested, I'm so sorry. Reporting from Dartmouth, Nova Scotia. My word of the year was embrace.
Oh yeah.
So I'm gonna set that free. And I learned that I can't do it all on my own, and I don't have to.
Yeah. That's huge. Thanks so much. Let's take a breath. And a sigh. All right, now if you haven't teared your word, go ahead, tear up your word. Goodbye. And if you love your word, you don't want to tear it anyways. I know, just tear it. It's being composted. It's composted. It's fine. It's going to be a flower later, you all. It's all good. We're composting. We're professional gardeners. All right, so let's go. So let's do yoga now for about 20 minutes. So let's just have a moment of transition. I'm going to move my computer where there's a bit more space. As I said previously, it's a practice that's we're going to be standing up the whole time. And I'm going to show it right now. It's the hand gesture from the beginning. It's like this, interlacing your fingers and the palms face up like this. And so if you want to get up, and I'm going to make sure that and usually I do the yoga on my phone, but I don't want to do it on my phone. I think we can manage. Okay, we'll start with your feet hip width. Can you tell me if the music's too loud? Okay, it's okay. Try something else. Okay, so my feet are hip width, and I'll take my hand gesture like this. Okay, open your heart. Remember, how does your body receive? Make space. Okay, we're still setting the stage. We're still just in the entrance. We haven't stepped in for a new word yet. So breathing down into your restful feet. You unbuckle your knees. Feel the water of your hips. Even you can like just rock a little left and right. Soften your shoulders, your jaw. Let your neck float. So really slowly, and we're all going to do this. It's going to look different. So reach your arms up, inhale, and then palms back at the chest. And look what I do. I go back into the hand gesture. So I go up, inhale, palms back, and I go back. So up, inhale, palms back, and always back to my unshakable trust. So we go up, but perhaps tonight for you it's like super wide and big, or perhaps for you it's like small And just moving through, it's called a pranam. When we just do one cycle of a movement and take our inhale and exhales within the pranam. Looks great. Let's go back. A few more. Again, accessing, honoring the ending of your year. So I inhale, reach my arms up, reach up, palms back at the chest. I keep my knees nice and unbuckled. Let's do just one more. Okay, finish your inhale to the top of the exhale. Last one. And back to tabletop, or back to mountain pose. Now, let's walk forward, hands to your hips. Bend the knees. On my phone, so much better, but I think we can manage. So bend the knees, right leg back, warrior one. So the back foot is at a 45-degree angle. The left knee is on top of the left heel. And here we'll do the same thing, but let's make it nice and wide, right? So we're not falling over. Palms at the chest. Same thing, but now we're in a warrior one. And back, down. We go up, straighten the front. Looks great. Up. Follow the sound of your own breath. A lot of what I teach in my class is really about the flow. We were talking about the go and the flow, of finding the flow of the body. Right? That which is a spiral, that which is nonsensical. Last one here. Step forward, feet hip width, hands at your hips. Or bend the knees, left leg back, warrior one. So you're not in a rush here. Set up your shape. So the back heel, you're leaning back. Right knee on top of the right heel. Palms at the chest. Press your hands in. Reach up, inhale. And then palms back and back to your mudra. That's it. Asking you, do I need slow tonight? Do I need faster? Okay, this is a ritual, a ceremony in the spirit of receptivity. Last few. And And then step forward. Hands to your low back. Looking at your feet, press your feet down and then lean back. Squeeze your shoulders in. So we're not forcing anything. I just want an opening through the collarbone.
I can't take this away for you. It'll stay.
You bend your knees, sweep your arms up again, inhale, and then exhale. Let's go onto the right side, really fancy, like dancing prayer twist. So we'll go up, and on the left, up, and on the right. Ah, so good, looks great. Okay, so next time we have our arms up, stay up, hook your thumbs, slight bend in the elbows, lean back, breathe in, and then go post arms out, and then palms back at the chest. Sweep up, palms back, unshakable trust. We go up.
Your oblivious neglect built us a grave.
And then back to center. Feet are hip width. Press your hands in. All right, one last shake out for 2024. Okay, you're ready. Oh no, this one. Okay, so we'll do some little somatic shaking, and you can start with your right side. All right, I want to shake. Yes. You're showing me. Okay, just the right side, just the right side.
Stop looking at what you ain't got. Start being thankful for what you do got. Let's get it to him, baby girl. Hey.
And then the left.
That's right.
And then give me some hips. Okay, give me a nice shake out. Like shake out your gear. I'm like swimming. Give me a butt shake. Oh yes, Sue! Amazing, Lindsay. Look at that. Maria, Ava, Darina's going. Oh my God, you're all going for it. Love it. Give me like a star. You can keep moving your feet. Okay, now we'll just use the hands, and if you're okay to like almost slap, you can slap.
I never been a hater, still I love them in a crazy way. Some say they sold the yeah, you know they couldn't get work on Labor Day. It ain't that black and white, it has an area that's shady gray. I'm west side anyway, even if I left today and stayed away. Some move away to make a way, not move away cause they afraid. I brought back to the hood.
Amazing. Then we can high five the screen. So you're amazing. Okay, let's go back one little thing. You're standing up. Stand up. What a beautiful privilege to be embodied, you know? Feel the sensations. Let's go back to breathing in your feet. And then into your heart. We've spoken at length about your heart and its connection to the stars. Okay, let's finish our practice with a good old tree pose. So hands to the hips, which are short. Here's practice, but that's okay. Ground down with the left and the right open. Palms at the chest, long neck. Then reach your arms up. And breathe in. And then palms back at the chest. Right knee in. Sole the foot back down. Okay, hands to the hips, grounded in purpose. Left knee up, open. Foot below. Open, press your hands in. And then reach your arms nice and high. There's words floating all around our great Zoom room. Just waiting to be put on your banners. Breathe in. And exhale your palms back to the chest, left knee in, and sole the foot back down. I want a really wide mountain pose. Feeling the charge and the pulse of your breath, your alignment, the embodiment of you, the stars of you. Okay, how can I allow for my life to enter me and for me to make that my purpose? Take a deep breath in. A long sigh out. Okay, wonderful, my sparkly darling. And in your eye. And we'll move back wherever you are. We're into the meditation part of this experience. So through Guide, you get the library of all my audio meditation, and this is the Sparkly New Year's meditation. It's about 13 minutes long. In it, it says to do it sitting, but please be instinctual. If you'd rather stay up, if you'd want to lean back, lay back, as long as you don't fall asleep or anything. And again, we're further making space for your word to find you. Okay? So that'll be 13 minutes, and then we'll do our breakout room for the deep growth. And I will make sure I will share the playlist too in the chat so you can revisit both the meditation and all the songs that I played tonight.
Hello, and welcome to your Sparkly New Year's meditation.
Okay.
My name is Estelle Thompson.
Is it
I
loud
want to
enough?
welcome you here. If you could come cross-legged or on your knees, find your sits bones here. Find a spine that is nice, long, proud. And rolling softly your shoulders away from your ears, your chin is elevated, and softly closing your eyes and connecting with the crown of your head as well. So if you are doing this meditation on a chair, your legs are uncrossed and your feet are touching the earth. So wherever you are, either if you are cross-legged or on your knees, I'd love for you to find your sits bones so that you may really sit and land where you are. So you recognize the pulling down of your body, and you also recognize the pulling up of your body. And those anchors sometimes can really help, such as the sits bones, such as the crown of your head. So taking a deep breath here and a sigh out. So as you inhale, you notice the rising and the expansion in your body. And as you exhale, you also recognize the landing in the body and how the exhale makes space in your body, clears your body, and purifies the body. For this sitting, we are working with dualities, such as landing before rising, clearing before building. So take a moment to really recognize this within your own sphere, energetic sphere of your body, within your inhales and your exhales. As you sit here present, aware, and conscious, you're recognizing that you're sitting during the darkest time of the year. Before December 31st turns into January 1st. You are recognizing that you are a vessel of possibility. That creativity starts in the dark. And all its seeds, all its bubbles, all ferments right now. And they start in the darkest place of your being. So within your exiles, emptying yourself of this last year before you can fill yourself again. Take a deep breath here and a long sigh out, emptying yourself here. Emptying on each exhale, accessing a clearing, accessing a cleansing. And in that way, you are entering this new year completely empty, one and one with the dark, completely surrendering and letting yourself anchor down into the earth and tapping in to the quiet power of this time. as you sit here, you are worthy. No matter what accomplishment, goals, or success, or action, or anything that has happened in the past. You get to be worthy despite all of this because of your breath. Your breath, your inner spark, makes you worthy just as you are, right here, right now. And as you empty yourself, you get to begin again, right here, right now. And with every breath passing, you get to begin again. And when you are working with the dark places, the hidden places, the shadows, it is also the same place, the exact same entrance of light, of sparkles, of luminosity. There, in this darkest place, lies your most aligned intention, your most aligned visions. You are deeply in your dharma, deep in your calling. You honor the seasons of your lives. Here, right now, you are rising, rooted. Here, you are welcoming whatever wants to be welcomed. Here, you let your word, your phrase, your symbol come to you. You don't choose your word of the year. It chooses you. It finds you. So it's from a place of deep, attentive inner listening that you sit here and are in service of your soul. And you are in service of the soul of the world. And as you listen, you evolve, receiving feedback from the universe. And it is without hesitation and beyond any doubt, trusting the unfolding of your life, deeply trusting. This moment right here, this moment, you've been training for this moment for a lifetime. Today, change arrives and you can flow. You may not just flow, you may bounce into this new year with enthusiasm, spontaneity, thriving to be your most sparkly, real self, your most sparkly, real soul. That you may stay close to what you feel, and that you are worthy of the Creator inside you. A few more passing breaths. Inhale, rising. Exhale, landing, making space, clearing. Here, you welcome the waves of nourishment that each breath offers your being. Here, you are attuned to deep inner listening. Here, you become a vessel for your dreams and your desires. Here, you are attuned to your heart's highest symphony because you deserve a life full of joy, vitality, expansion, abundance, openness. Taking one last breath, long, slow, and steady. And one last exhale, long, slow, and steady. And as you sit here, you are so sparkly, your eyes so fierce, your body so warm, cleared for all your visions, words, symbols, ready to amplify this magic life. And it's already full of magic, wonder, and awe. It's already here. You are ready to meet your word of the year, to know your word of the year, to live and embody your word of the year. Joseph Campbell writes, "We must be willing to let go of the life we planned so as to have the life that is waiting for us." Take an inhale here and a long, sparkly sigh out. Happy New Year!
He's slowly coming back. Okay. Okay, now entering, stay with this openness and this calmness. Hopefully, you've nurtured now, you've entered. I will put you in some breakout rooms. There's going to be a moment of journaling. Excuse me. Here are the questions. If you, I know a lot of you are visuals, so 5 feelings you want to feel in 2025. That's also in your planner. The question actually in the planners are much more specific, but for the purpose of this workshop, I've kind of made it more general. And then this question, what am I ready to wake up to in 2025? For this question, I want you to remember what you've learned because it will inform what you will wake up to. It will expand that very thing. Okay. And what is my word of the year? So 5 feeling you want to feel. What am I ready to wake up to bloom into, to wake up to? A slow wake up, yeah. And what is my word of the year? I will ask, I'm gonna try to, if you are already in guide, can you make sure everybody gets a time to share and to journal just the way we do usually? I would appreciate that just because I'm not gonna be in the breakout rooms. Okay, and one more thing I'm gonna say. In the little pods, we're in our Sparkly New Year's pods. We're practicing attentive listening. We're not giving advice. We're not giving perspective. We're not improving anyone, fixing anyone. Our job is just to witness. That's really, really important for me to just be witness. And that's the whole basis of women's circles. Okay, so breakout room. So I'm going to put Adele, Anne Margaret, Dorina, and Erin in the same room. I'm gonna put Angela, Emily, Heather, and Eva in the same room. Thank you. I'm gonna put, oh, Angela, there's two Angela. Heather, you have Emma, Emily, and Angela with you, okay? I think you know Angela from yoga. Angela Fitzgerald, you're with Erica, Lindsay, and Marie-Eve. So journaling, we go around answering what will I wake up to, and you can say your word of the year too. To be very focused here. Okay. Lori, Valerie, Tiffany. And then Patsy, Shauna, and Sue together, okay? So I'm gonna leave you like 7 minutes to do that. Is there any questions before you leave me? Okay, have fun, rumble away. Hi, Ava. Hi. Yeah. Was it enough time? It's okay. Thank God. How was the rumble?
Was it good?
Did everyone had a chance? Was it okay?
Yep.
Enough time? Yeah, good. Did everyone find a word or the word find you? Because it'd be okay if a word didn't find you. What happened to Aaron? Did Aaron have to go?
No, I'm right here.
Oh, I can't see you. That's so weird.
Oh,
Oh,
hi
you're right
there.
there. I see you now. Okay. Aaron, you have a word?
No,
Okay.
I was going to unmute myself to normalize to anyone who's either new at this or doesn't have their word yet that it can take weeks, sometimes months. Like sometimes it took me a while, like into February, and I still wasn't sure if that was my word. And so just wanted to normalize if you don't have your word, it's totally fine.
Thank you,
It'll
Aaron.
happen. Yeah, it'll
That's why I
happen.
was looking for
Don't
you. That's
push.
why I was looking for you. And I usually get to say this way at the beginning of the workshop, and somehow I didn't. But some words and like a lot of students like it's okay if a word doesn't found you. Nothing, it's fine. And also if there's like a few and you're like, try on one. Some years my word of the year showed up in literally like October. And then other years I was teaching the workshop, I still did not know what my word was going to be. So whenever it comes to soul work, there's no right or wrong way to approach this. Um, a good way, again, it's with like community, either journal it, talk it out, but also like just court your word of the year. Just try it on for a little bit. It's a big deal to have a word of the year. Um, it's a big deal. I don't have time to go over why it's such a big deal. I hope I did kind of manage to have, but within your planner this year, I was so excited to have this self studies to further help you in your connections that you make with your word of the year. The things we wake up to our word of the year, it's slow work, soul work. It's slow. It's a slow waking. But I put my 7 self studies in there to further help you to make the connections. Had you seen this? You hadn't seen this. Yes, I'm so happy. So the self-studies are in there, which guide community you had as newsletters last year. Well, I included them in the planner this year. So the first self-study is patience and revelation, okay? The last few things I just want to share, and there's any like residue or questions, I want you to remember the dance this year of the go and the flow and activating and disactivating. And whenever there's like a goal, like something really specific you want, you know, ask yourself, like, why? I know it sounds so silly, but like, why? And instead of just like having a goal, what is the feeling behind that goal? So instead of like, if there is something really specific you want, like, it's actually the feeling we're craving because we don't do our life. We feel our lives. And remember, like, your word, it's gonna test you. And I don't even know if I love that word anymore. Test. Your word is gonna invite you, invite you into things. That's for sure. It's for sure. And so, how are you gonna see it as in the stars? How are you going to make that your destiny? Because it's already written in the stars from your heart's desire, which we talked about at the beginning of class. And the last thing I'm going to say, and I just wrote about that on Substack. I think it's coming out on newsletter tomorrow. Be in service of your word. Be in service of your light. Instead of wanting to control what this year is going to look like, be of service to it instead. It's like a complete 180 reverse psychology. Instead of wanting to master, to improve, to perfect, no, just be of service. What does it want from you? Your word. It wants something for you because it picked you. And that should be exciting. Thrilling magic awaits from that. All right, my sparkly, lovey-dovey princesses and light seekers and firecrackers, creatresses. Let's have a breath here and a sigh. Is there any lingering question? I think most of you have the planner anyway, so that's like one of my utmost supportive tool to have a word of the year. Anything in the chat? Okay, well, if there's nothing, we can go around and please share. I will start. Share your word of the year. Erin, where are you now? Oh, yeah. If you don't have a word of the year, just say, I'm Erin, and the word is still trying to find me. Can you say that? Okay. So I will just show you what I do, and I'd love that we all kept the banner up, so we can just witness each other's word of the year. At Cowboy Halls, it was very special. Everybody took their banner, and we were taking everybody's banner, and we did a whole spiral with the banners. It was really special. Exactly like we did Valerie and Angela in the summer with the weaving of the painting. We did that with the words of the year because our dreams weave within each other and interconnects, So let me put my little music. Let's go. Okay, thank you so much for being here tonight. My name is Estelle, and my word of the year. And let's go around. I'll say your name. Maybe you can unmute yourself and tell us your word of the year. My word this year is bold. Oops, bold love. Bold love. Marie-Ève, what's your word?
Yes, my name is Marie-Ève, and my word is lightness.
Thank you. Lindsay, what's your word?
Hi, my word this year is alive.
Angela F., what's your word?
My name is Angela, and my word is listen.
Erica.
Hi, I'm Erica, and my word is divinity.
Heather.
My word is quiet.
Ava.
I think my word is unprecedented or unknown. Like my year is unknown.
Unknown. I like that. Unknown. Thank you, Ava. Angela. A.
My name's Angela, and I don't know my word. I think it might be demolish.
Demolish. Yes. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Somebody had flamingo. That was the word of the year. Chef's kiss. Love it. Love it. Thanks, Angela. Adele.
My word is trust.
Hey, boy. How about Tiffany?
My word is still trying to find me.
Okay. Lori.
I did not write it on here yet, but my word is audacity.
Oh la 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 la. I knew from your banner. I just knew something was going on. Okay, Darina.
Yes, my name is Darina, and this year is create.
Thing. Anne Margaret.
Hi, I'm Anne Margaret, and my word is grace.
Erin.
I'm Erin, and my word is still finding me.
Valerie.
Hey, I'm Valerie, and my word this year is release.
Thank you. Sue.
So for my first word I've ever picked ever in my whole entire life for a year, here comes. My word is ease.
So exciting. So exciting. We got Shauna.
Yo, Capricious in the house.
Yes, yes, I knew it. That's my fault. I love it. Emily, amazing.
Emily, and my word's still trying to find me.
I love it. Patsy. Okay, who was in the group with Patsy?
When we were in our group, Patsy was putting her baby to bed. So but
perfect.
the word that, if I can speak for her, the
Yes,
word that
please.
she has is enlightened.
Oh, wow. Beautiful. Did I miss anybody? Please speak up if I missed you. C'est bon? Okay, I'm going to take a screenshot real quick. Give me your best with your banners. Oh my God. I got it. Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much. Let's take a breath in your heart's deepest desire. Thank you so much for not letting me do this alone. I love each and every one of you. And I will stay if you have questions. You can just stay on the Zoom. And if not, we'll see you wherever we see you. And Guide is open until January 12th. Love you. Happy New Year.
Thank you, Estelle.
Thanks, Heather.
Hope you get your voice back.
Thank you. Happy New Year, everyone.
Bye.
Happy New Year.
Bye, Sue.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye, Tiffany. Angela.
Hi. I have a question.
Yeah.
So we meet on Guide every Sunday.
No, once so the
Sorry, one Sunday a month.
Yeah, the first, usually not this month, but usually it's the first Sunday of every month.
Okay.
Essentially, there's 3 calls a month. They're all optional. So at the beginning of the year, I just tell you like kind of choosing, I call it constraints. Like, I mean, they will change throughout the year, but like the Sunday call is mostly like me introducing the symbol of the month from like the planner, but you get it in newsletters anyways. So it's more like inspiring, educating. And then the Luminary and book club interchanges every month. So one month it's book club, and then this year we're doing the Creative Act with Rick Rubin.
Okay.
So it's just like a book club, like
Yeah.
a book club, yeah. And then the next Luminary calls, it's one of you in the circle leading the call. So last year we did them with elements. So